So the Rams have beaten the 49ers in the NFC Championship in 2022, and this video is going to be relatively short. I did predict this about 2 months ago on my TikTok, on my YouTube. I said the Rams were going to the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to talk about the LA Rams too much in this video because I am going to do a Super Bowl preview video in the next coming weeks. You'll probably see this video has come out in the morning. I do have in-person classes. Give me some good luck. If you're going to in-person classes for the first time tomorrow, good luck. Go get some great grades. Go meet your professors. Have a great time. I am very happy the Niners lost. I am a Seahawks fan, and once again I must mention my Seattle Seahawks as they still haven't fired Pete Carroll. 49ers losing in any situation, I get joy in. The LA Rams I don't have much of a gripe with, especially with a team that has so many players that I enjoy watching. Now, I do have to give some credit to Deebo Samuel. Watching him sit on that sideline, truly emotional, knowing that he gave his all to that game. To that season, really, he was the 49ers offense with Brandon Ayuk and obviously George Kittle being in and out of the lineup. Jimmy G did play a solid enough game except for that last interception, which is just a ball. I think it's pretty obvious that you don't make that throw. I know he's trying to make a play, but you can't throw that ball. No matter if the wide receiver bumped it up into the air, it's still not a ball you want to try. You take your sack at that point. It's just not worth it. I got to give credit to the Niners. They made that game super interesting. Hell, they even had the lead. I have to give a ton of credit for this team to persevere, go into Lambeau, beating Lambeau in those conditions, and to continually move forward and potentially go to the Super Bowl. I didn't truly see them as a Super Bowl team. I truly thought Jimmy G was going to limit them at one point or another, and it happened as we saw. They had one drive to go get 3 points, and they couldn't even move the ball an ounce. And this is why I feel the Rams, to me, felt like the Buccaneers of last year. I mean, you could talk about the correlations about how they are playing in their home stadium for the Super Bowl, but it was a quarterback destined to prove something. Tom Brady last year had a ton to prove to a lot of haters who said, why are you leaving the Patriots? Why are you leaving Bill Belichick? Matthew Stafford, now everyone was excited for him to leave the Lions, but he had a ton to prove this year, and he had plenty of haters down the line of the season. But he has proved so many wrong, and I am so excited for this Super Bowl matchup. I'm going to hold off talking about the Bengals and the Rams. The 49ers have a lot to figure out in this offseason. Moving off of Jimmy G is probably the first thing they're going to do. Next thing, you have to understand that their offense is going to be centered around Deebo Samuel, but you have to get a second weapon to help him out. Maybe, just maybe, you look at an Aaron Rodgers to potentially take the quarterback position to that next level. I wouldn't mind moving off of Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance has a ton of potential, but if you want to win now with the roster that it's set up this way, with the cap structure and how everything is set up, I would go all in like the Rams did in this year. Go get Aaron Rodgers in this offseason, and this team potentially would go to the Super Bowl and win. I think this defense played up to the standards that they could have against a high-powered offense in the LA Rams. And can we talk about how happy we got to be for Odell Beckham Jr. to get out of Cleveland, where it was obvious that he was being limited in the offense and he truly was becoming underrated because of his usage in the Cleveland Browns offense was just abysmal. I honestly was disappointed every time I would watch the Cleveland Browns and they would hype up in previous games how we're going to get Odell involved, we're going to get him involved in every aspect of the game, and they just never did. And to be able to see him blossom as a true, I think honestly the number 2 receiver on the Rams easily behind Cooper Kupp, who, my gracious, what a fantastic game from Cooper Kupp. If you say he's not a top 5 receiver, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to accept that a slot receiver is just this dominant. I mean, I never understood the criticisms of Michael Thomas, and people are going to say, oh, well, it's recency bias. I would honestly even potentially put Jamar Chase in the top 5 because he is just that dominant. And Cooper Kupp, he's playing in the biggest moments, in the biggest games against the biggest teams, and he is excelling. I don't understand why people are just undermining his greatness. And if you still think he's not top 5 after this season, especially after the postseason, I have to humbly disagree with you on most of your NFL takes because I don't trust what your opinions are anymore. I'm sorry. I would love to see a lot of people argue in my comments trying to explain to me how Cooper Kupp is not top 5 because I am struggling to see a reason not to, because the recency bias is fair. I will say it's recent that he has been this dominant, but what other receiver has been this dominant in a long time? I mean, if we're comparing a guy to Calvin Johnson, it has to mean to something. Even if it doesn't mean he's 6'5", going on the edge, dunking on every single cornerback, so what? He's getting open, and it's not like tight coverages every single time. This dude is blowing by almost every coverage they are throwing at him. There's got to be a way to stop Cooper Kupp, and this Bengals defense has a lot to figure out, whether it's stopping Odell Beckham, Cam Akers, Sony Michel, Matthew Stafford, Odell Beckham. There's so many weapons on this Rams offense, I can't even begin to start how dynamic they are. Shout out to the Rams to overcome almost a curse against this 49ers team, especially as this stadium was an away game. There's no way around it. This game felt like a 49ers game. It felt like it was in the middle of the Golden State area. It was incredible to watch. It was truly, you could hear both sides almost. It felt like a Super Bowl almost, where both crowds just didn't undermine each other. They were both relatively loud, but nothing to a point where it was just home field advantage. It was almost like a neutral site, which is really disappointing if you're an LA Rams fan, and even more awkward when they were even trying to limit the amount of 49ers fans that were in the attendance. But congratulations to the LA Rams. I will go into depth of the matchup in the next couple weeks. We have a long time till the Super Bowl. We got a lot to talk about. Probably in the next couple days, you'll see a Buccaneers video talking about what happens when Tom Brady potentially retires. He doesn't know if he will retire just yet, but there's a lot of reports saying that he could. And this Buccaneers roster could get really interesting without Tom Brady. If you're at this point of the video, please like and subscribe. I know this is a shorter video than what I usually do, but there's a lot of new people watching my videos, and if you like my content, please sub, please leave a comment. I would love to get to know you and really respond to any takes that you got, and I would love to build off of any takes that you have and potentially make a video off of it. Please have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching.